Hi everyone, I'm May. Just a few days ago, I received an email from someone seeking psychotherapy stating that she was attacked by a man who was yelling, "China virus, go back to China," when he attacked her. As a clinical psychologist, sometimes I think the reasons that bring people into therapy can be seen as a reflection of the issues that many of us face together as members of the same society or citizens of the same world. In early 2020, I started seeing people come into therapy because of anxiety or fear surrounding the rising pandemic. Then, as cities around the world began to shut down and the virus persisted, we were all confronted with challenges that none of us had ever faced before. Economically, socially, our work, family, friends, close relationships were all greatly impacted. And recently, there has been a sudden rise in violence against Asian Americans. Many recent reports are showing that in the past year, during the pandemic, there were almost 4,000 incidents of violence against Asian Americans, an increase of almost 150% from the previous year. I started seeing people come into therapy because they're too afraid to go out, they're fearful for their lives, or because they're struggling for the very first time. What does it mean to be an Asian in America? Even among my existing patients, some are recalling long forgotten memories of the past from childhood or early adulthood where they were treated differently because they looked different. Racial injustice, discrimination, prejudice, these are long-standing issues that are multifaceted and with many layers. In other words, extremely complicated. But coming back to the individual psychological level, if under the current climate you're out and about, all of a sudden seeing an angry person running toward you, yelling something like "China virus" or "go back to China," it is right to be afraid. It is right to run away and try to protect ourselves. Our feelings serve as a signal that tells us how we should behave. So, anxiety, fear, under the right circumstances, are protective factors that help us to survive. Potential problems arise when we experience these emotions in an exaggerated manner and for a prolonged period of time. One thing we can do to take better care of ourselves is to simply give our mind a break. If we're out feeling vigilant or anxious, those are appropriate reactions to potential danger. But once we do get home feeling safe, we should try to refrain from getting onto the internet, getting onto social media, and expose ourselves to news or incidents that would make us continue to be anxious. Another thing we can do is to look at this perhaps as an opportunity for us to reevaluate and think about the roles that race and ethnicity play in our own self-identity. In general, race refers to our biological or physiological makeup, such as the color of our skin, the color of our eyes and our hair, and ethnicity refers to our cultural background and upbringing, which are generally acquired after birth. Race and ethnicity are important parts that go into the composition that make us who we are. No more or less important than the other individual characteristics that make us unique, such as our height, our weight, our personality, our strength and weakness. It may be both important and beneficial for us to start thinking about it, start talking about it, and start connecting to others about this part of who we are. Take time. Take the time to experience our emotions. Take the time to get to know the different parts of ourselves. Take the time to get to know those who are around us, those we care about. And perhaps, just perhaps, we can all come out of this a better version of ourselves.